the part you're waiting for. This is our review of Haunt. Jordan, do you feel a bit haunted?
I got goosebumps all up and down my balls.
What are goosebumps?
Goosebumps. It's a novel series by R.L. Stein. I don't know how they got there, but
I'm R.L.
it's kind of
Stein. Pedro, do you feel a bit haunted? Well, I guess what we're talking about is Haunt,
which is a Slenderman style game.
Tell them about it.
It is a Slender game, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a Slender game. If you've ever played any type of, it's kind of like Amnesia, same sort of feel, same sort of gameplay style, where you sort of go through. You have some general objectives, but
wait. We have a bit of issue on our court here.
Do not compare this game to Amnesia. Amnesia is freaking awesome. This, well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to this. I'm just giving a general overview, Pedro. Calm your tits.
Well, then anyway, compare it to Amnesia.
Let him give
calm yo tits.
Tits be calm.
Anyways, you run around, you try and collect stuff. There's a slendery troll physics guy running around trying to eat you and hump your leg. It's all that stuff.
So we're looking at this game. It is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux. The Unity engine developer Paranormal. What is it? Paranormaldev. Official page is yoink right here. Haunt-slendergame.com. Another in the long line of fuck all. I use that default Unity flashlight again.
Yep.
In my game. The J-Man's already explained it, but we need to talk about how we break things down. And,
with chairs.
Well, we use chairs. Chair explanation.
Chair explanation.
Chair explanation. 1 chair, you get a dope. 2 chairs, you need to check it out. 3 chairs, which I didn't have to have everything set up right. Shut up and take our monies. But
L.G.C. live, ladies and gentlemen.
We do have 3 categories. Each individual category for each one of us running 3 different operating systems. Well, actually, yes, we are, because we're all running the Linux kernel, but we're running 3 different operating systems.
Good news / Linux.
Don't understand that. First category, makes for the working. Second, shiny in sounds. And third, our famous one, our only subjective category, and that is control and fun. So, how are we going to rock on with this critter?
Well then, did it work for you?
Well, here's the thing, man. It's working really nice in this video now, isn't it?
Yeah. Looks that way.
Yeah. Looks like everything's working. I mean, it's a Unity game, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're all agreeing with this. But unfortunately, there's been a bit of hubbub at the Linux Gamecast trying. Go ahead.
I was just going to say a snafu, would you say?
A snafu.
I'm going to put it like this. When it comes down to our first category, and that is makes with working, with 1 asterisk, 1 asterisk, 1 astro, I give it 1 chair, because these 2 other gentlemen disagree with me, and this is not a dictatorship as much as I would love it to be one. But here's
we just throw you over.
I will throw you this back in your direction. Here's my issue. It's not a dependency issue. The game doesn't work. Period. Unless you, like us, like me or Pedro or Jordan, infinite experience testing these Unity games, because we get flooded with them every week at Linux Gamecast. People's like, oh, try this game, try this game, try this game. I looked at this. The second I loaded it, and I said, your directory structure is wrong. And here's the thing. This is why I still had to give it. What I'm getting to is I gave them a week to update it. Still not updated. So, I will stand by this game is unplayable for 99.9% of all users and one chair. Now, to crush my review of one chair's Master Slang.
All right. Well, the immediate solution to this problem that Ben described, and I ran into it as well. Basically, you rename a folder called haunt_1_data to just plain old data. Now, I agree with Ben that this, for 99.9992% of the Linux gaming populace out there, they may not be able to figure that out. However, one share, and I'm completely stealing Pedro's thing out of the show notes. So
do it.
Sucks to be you. Anyways, one lawn share is simply for that it does not run under any circumstance. We're talking like unvanquished level running, where we set everything up correctly, execute from the command line, nada, just craps out, shits pants and
with this game out of the box, we set up everything correctly and execute it from the command line, and still doesn't work.
However, I would argue that is still more the solution to the problem is still simpler than actually recompiling a package.
Yep.
I would argue that, and hence my score is a dos chairs.
Dos, because it does run, and it runs all right. There is an issue with setup, though, and I think that's what the 2-chair is supposed to represent. The 2-chair is supposed to be, it takes work to get it to run, but ultimately it runs.
Well, from my end, is pretty much what Jordan says. Except I do have one thing to add, because not only did they not set the directory straight, they also zipped the package, which means all permissions went down the toilet, and you actually have to either chmod or right-click properties, allow executing as a program on the binary files.
What's a tarball?
Still, yeah, just use a tarball. It's tar.gz. There's a reason most Linux distributors use that.
Said, fool.
So, still, like Jordan said, one is for games that don't work no matter what you do, so 2.
Oh, 2 for the P-Man. Like I said, mine will come complete with 1 Astro. But up next, we have Shiny and Sounds. Now for this game, we're looking at it. It's a bit, it looks like your standard amateur dark Unity game. I mean, this is somebody's first try. Sound effects, they added very little to overall atmosphere. And one thing I recently discovered is I have a really good sound setup here, recording all this. And this is from listening to some audio somebody sent me. Listening to this game with headphones, atmosphere, it was a bit not, in my opinion, so he would come back with 1 chair. Just like that.
I don't know if you guys were experiencing this, but on the main menu there was a bunch of flickering. And
yeah, that's
I wasn't quite
it's
sure
a
if that was a bug or a feature. It's a feature. I was a bit confused about that.
It's made to confuse Canadians.
Confused Canadian is confused. I mean, it looks all right. It doesn't look terrible. I mean, for what it is, it's dark. It's all filmy. I kind of get the Blair Witch vibe. But yeah, I might give it 2 chairs.
You say with 2.
2 chairs. 1, 2 chairs. P-Man.
Yeah, well, I can't, as much as I like horror games, and the atmosphere wasn't all that bad. But I can't give it a 3 chairs here either, because on my end with FGLRX, the black textures were on a layer that was higher than the fog.
We need to address something up far more important. Why are AMD graphics drivers racist?
Because
why do they hate black textures, man?
Damn good question. But I don't think they hate them. It's the opposite. They put them on the forefront, regardless of fog, physics, anything. The black textures, anything that's textured black on my end would show up on the forefront, which means you could see the black textures from 30 kilometers away, regardless of all the blurriness the game is filled with. So 2 chairs.
Oh, with a 2.
So now for our subjectives category, that one that you all love and love to hate. Then.
For a bit of reminder here, 2's check it out, but 2 is shiny and sounds. Working it live, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is our control and fun category. And to be honest with you, one thing I didn't like is you genuinely walk at the speed of smell. Even when you run, you're not doing better than that. And unfortunately, for no other reason than whoever wrote this game really likes waving
camera bobbing.
Well, no, it's not. What do you call it? Grass, weeds, or whatever. Tons of those things for no reason ever. You're up on the side of the hill, like inside something. Oh, it's there. It's just waving around. Causes a bunch of camera herky-jerk. Completely unneeded. Completely unnecessary. Did collect 3 of the papers. The only thing I ever ran into was that thing at the beginning of the gate. And I just wanted to give it a hug. That's me. So, with the controls and fun, bam, right there, 1 chair. That's a swag.
I never really liked Slender type games, or even really Amnesia type games, unless they're done in a sort of party setting where you
better be nice to Amnesia type games, or Pedro will kill you in your sleep again.
No, Pedro can try. I don't die. But anyways, the I mean, I find them more fun in a party setting where you're just kind of making fun of the thing and sort of just hanging out with people and playing this game and laughing at the horror aspects and whatnot. Playing it alone is just boring. It controls all right.
Are you trying to say it's more entertaining to watch stupid, scared people play it on
saying
YouTube?
if you get a bunch of friends and some booze, this might be a fun game. But
would that increase your chair amount?
Would increase my chair amount, but unfortunately, I gotta play this on my lonesome, and I honestly find it boring. On my own, yeah, it doesn't do it for me. So I'm gonna give it 1 chair.
Oh damn! 1 chair from the J-Man. Maybe, just maybe.
Sleep with one eye open, Jordan. That's all I'm saying.
Bring it.
In any case, I love horror games. The horror genre is, well, I think it's my favorite. And, well, I like Amnesia. I really do like Amnesia. I like Silent Hill 2. Those are 2 horror games. Oh, and Penumbra, from the same guys who made Amnesia. Those 3 horror games are in a pedestal right up there. And I really wanted to like a Slender game for once. I really did. And this thing... well, let's just get... okay. First things
Lay it
first,
on us, Pedro.
Mouse sensitivity.
Pedro, do you need me to hump your leg again?
So high that if I just so much as twitched my hand, it would do a full 180. So I was looking backwards, and they gave me no option to tone it down. So controls, if I could give 0 chairs, I would, but I'm not done yet. Atmosphere, well, the atmosphere was okay-ish, barring the glaring texturing issues on my end.
It's new Unity. Everything needs to be reflective.
Shiny.
And, you know, like Ven said, the grass, it actually, with all the waving and all the, it actually clips inside some walls of some buildings.
There's sometimes you're like, what are you doing here? Grass? You have no business. You're grass. Why are you here?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the grass from Ultima 3 that tries to kill you. And it's just following you.
Maybe, but then there's the death scenes.
I called them hugging scenes, but go ahead.
Okay, I knew that Slender, being the legend that was born on the Something Awful forums, and the first game, it was supposed to be a joke, so when you died, you had Slenderman doing that thing with his head holding onto you. And to me, that looks like he's dry humping my leg. And it's still here. It's 2013. It's been 2 years since the Slenderman thing came up.
Pedro, do you know how you fix the humping thing? You just keep a spray bottle of water and you spray it on Slenderman when he's trying to
That's a bad Slenderman.
And you say, no, bad Slenderman.
Or you hold up a stick. Same way you take care of snakes.
Yeah, on a plane though.
Well, I wish I could have one in the game, because...
What did you give it?
To me, and because I like horror games, and since we don't have 0 chairs, I'm going to have to give it a 1.
Oh, man. Wow.
That's rough.
So when we break down these categories, man, mixed with the working, shiny and sounds, and controls and fun. Whew. That's a lot of breaking down, considering we didn't do totals, but I can do maths in my head.
You can? That's a shock.
1 chair.
Yep.
Uno.
Oh, no. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're not saying anything bad. We're saying good attempt. I mean, if this was your first attempt at a game, and it's from a Polish developer, spare the jokes. It's just that I think we're all genuinely sick of seeing these first-run Unity games that... All right, here's a pro tip. If you're going to export something, that export button to Unity, that might work. You might want to test it, because it's clearly you never effing tested it, because it doesn't run. It takes people like us who go, oh, well, we just need to change the data directory because we're experienced more with Unity than you are as the game developer. Bad sign, man. Really bad sign.
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. But we managed to unfuck that mistake and get it running. But I'm just kind of meh. With that, final thoughts on the game, J-Man?
I want to dry hump someone's leg.
Ooh, I'm tempted.
Okay.
Pedro, you drying that leg off?
Well, I don't know if it was their first game, but it was their first Linux game, so I'm going to give them a pass and say, I mean, it's a free game. Give it a look if you're into the horror genre. It might strike your fancy, but it probably won't.
And that does it for this review of That Spooky Business.